Hi, it's Gary with Successful Gardens, and in this video I'm going to share with you 5 of my favorite bell peppers to grow. Now, bell pepper is probably the most common pepper in the gardening world, but there are so many different varieties that you can grow that you don't have to settle on just that traditional green bell pepper. Now, there's nothing wrong with a green bell pepper, but wouldn't you like to spice it up with yellow and oranges and reds? That's what I'm going to share with you today. How about even a purple pepper? One of the first things to consider there, or to talk about with bell peppers, is the fact that there is not a boy or girl bell pepper plant out there. Now, some gardening folklore talk about the 3 lobes on a pepper or a 4-lobed pepper, and that would be able to tell the difference between a boy and a girl pepper. No such thing. Peppers grow on what's referred to as a perfect flower. It has both sexes in needing pollination and fertilization of a plant. So there's not a boy plant nor a girl plant. It is a perfect flower. To me, there's more to life in a garden than just having a green bell pepper. They do great. I grew up with them, but there's so many more different varieties out there. And I'm going to share some of my favorite first. And I'm going to start off with my favorite bell pepper called Flavor Burst. Yes, Flavor Burst is kind of green. It has a yellow hint to it. Sometimes, depending on when you pick it, it can almost be a lime green. But look at the size of what this pepper can grow into. And it will mature actually to a yellow color. Flavor Burst has a tendency to be about a 4-inch sized pepper, usually 4 lobes. So on the bottom of that pepper, it's going to show 4 lobes or 4 cells, and it's nice and crisp, especially when you pick it fresh in the morning out of the garden. One thing that I like about the Flavor Burst is the burst of flavor. It actually has some citrus undertones to it. So when you bite into it, or you've sliced it and you put it on a salad, those rings of green peppers just offer a burst of citrus. It's not a lemon, it's not a lime, but there's this citrus burst of flavor that you can get with those rings of peppers. So one of my all-time favorite bell peppers to grow in the garden is Flavor Burst. I live in Wyoming, so my growing season in the garden is not as long as those, say, in the southern region. I'm a zone 4. My last spring frost date is usually somewhere between Mother's Day, the middle of May, to the end of May. And then my first fall frost usually happens around the 1st of September. Now, there's some seasons that it grows longer and goes longer, and on both ways. But one pepper that is great in shortness of days is called King of the North. It's probably considered one of the best bell peppers for northern climates or cool, short growing seasons. It has a thick walled, blocky, fairly large fruit that can grow 6 inches by 4 inches. So that great big softball size of pepper. And they will turn in color. They'll start off green, but they will mature to a red when fully mature. Your best flavor is when they mature into that red, but they also have great flavor when you pick them in the green stage. So if you have short growing seasons, consider King of the North. Probably the green traditional pepper that we've all grown up with is the award-winning California Wonder green bell pepper. It's traditional. That's the type that my grandma grew in her garden. It's been around for ages, but it's still a good standard. It is a good go-to pepper, green pepper, for your garden. With this particular bell pepper plant, you want to be careful because it can grow anywhere from 24 to 30 inches in height. So in the garden, nice and tall, takes up a lot of room. In a pot, if you grow them in a pot, you want to make sure that that pot is stable, and you probably will need to support that pepper plant in a pot with something simple as a bamboo rod. But California Wonder would be that go-to, never fail type of bell pepper that you can grow in your garden anytime. Now, the next one that I like to grow is called Super Heavyweight. And I wish I was filming this during the gardening season because the size of the Super Heavyweight pepper is unbelievable. It is considered one of the biggest, heaviest, thickest walled blocks of bell pepper that you can grow. But the sweetness of the flavor is incredible. If you have a neighborhood growing contest or you like to show off at the local farmers market, Super Heavyweight is one of those peppers that you would want to grow, and it is because it will knock the socks off the competition. 7 inches in height, 6 inches in growing around. The other knockout punch that it has is that it contains extra vitamin C. They actually consider the Super Heavyweight one of the best or highest vitamin C content peppers out there that you can grow. So if you want to knock out punch in your garden with your peppers, consider growing the Super Heavyweight. I like to add color. As you've seen, the choices of the peppers that I've grown offer that kaleidoscope color from your garden. But I like to add Purple Beauty. And it is a true purple color. It's a dark purple color, a favorite in the kitchen because of the coloring contrast that it can bring to a salad. Now, the inside flesh of the pepper will be green, but the outer skin is purple. It has excellent flavor. And so heavy foliage in the plant. So as that plant is growing, it's a medium-sized pepper, 20 to 24 inches in height, but it has extra large leaves. And so it creates a canopy protecting that fruit as it grows from any sun scalds. So as your plant grows and it looks like all you're getting is leaves and foliage, it's creating its canopy to protect the fruit that is growing. And so, but the one thing I do like about the Purple Beauty is what the name says. It is truly a purple beauty to behold in your garden. Do you have a favorite bell pepper that you grow? Or are you just satisfied growing the traditional green bell peppers? Tell me what you grow in your garden. Until next time, this is Gary with Successful Gardens. Thanks for watching. And remember, let's get growing.